In this video, we're counting down the very best songs from Doctor Heinz Doofenshmirtz. These are my picks, but make sure to share your own in the comments below, and without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Number 10, Auka's Going Down.
Evil team up, dastardly scheme up, taking them to town.
When all the evil scientists of Love Muffin decide to team up to get rid of Auka once and for all, they come up with this superb musical number. Most times, Love Muffin is considered kind of a joke, but in this episode they prove how competent and menacing they can be if only they put their minds to it. The song is serious enough to match the higher stakes of the episode, however at the same time it still remains pretty wacky, mostly because they dance like idiots. In this song however, Doof only shows up for the first few verses and only comes back at the very end, so that's kind of a shame, cause I would have loved to see him lead the whole musical, with some of the other evil scientists perhaps having their own solos here and there. That would have made the song 100 times better. However, this one just isn't memorable enough to deserve a higher placement on my list. Actually, I initially didn't even consider it for this video, but it kinda grew on me lately. What can I say? These wacky evil pharmacists always do it for me.
Now, Auka's going down. You've got to
Number 9, Talk to Him.
tell him every twisted scheme that's in your head. Talk to him. You got to give him some specifics he can dread. Talk to him.
Doof is kidnapped by Professor Mystery and sings a song to explain to him how to communicate with his nemesis. He basically goes through the whole process he uses with Perry. The best part of this song is probably seeing Heinz so overly excited and glad to explain the whole thing. He's almost thrilled to teach that guy how to be evil, although in his own cartoony way. During the entire song, Doof is trapped, so he can't really dance as he usually does. However, the backup dancers completely make up for his being unable to move. I believe this is the first time they take charge of the musical without having Doof lead them. Still, it's almost scary how these women seem to follow Doof around everywhere he goes. They could track him down and find Professor Mystery's lair before Auka itself could. That's a little creepy.
How did you get chorus girls in here?
Hey, Union, they'll travel.
Number 8, Back in Gimmelsturm.
Hater, cause I got an innator and an overcomplicated scheme.
While Phineas and Ferb build their second roller coaster, Doof decides to revisit the same scheme he came up with on the first day of summer, but this time mixing it up with a musical number that gives viewers a glimpse into his life. He starts by reminiscing about his life in Gimmelsturm and then delves into how it all changed since then. Although the first half of the song is not really my jam, it's very clever how the story of his life is told with two contrasting music genres. It perfectly highlights the two main sides of his personality. We both get the tragic story of a vengeful young man who faced the toughest of lives, and at the same time his current optimistic self who dreams of conquering the tri-state area. The transition between the two halves of the song though feels kinda abrupt. I guess it would have been more effective if they had made it more gradual. Nevertheless, the song remains iconic in its own right.
Yeah!
So are we done? Cause I gotta pick up my kid from school.
1 second, just wait till it goes to black. Alright, now you can go. We're the cruelest of people.
Number 7, Evil Tonight.
Looking for heinous and iniquitous acts. Ethics cannot contain us. Sit back and relax.
In the episode Bullseye, Love Muffin organizes this musical to introduce their pageant of evil. And do they nail it? I've already said it before, but I love seeing how everyone at Love Muffin is as wacky as Doofenshmirtz, and how they're all down with putting on a show for their nemesis. I guess it's safe to assume they organize full-blown musicals for their respective nemesis on a daily basis, just like Doof. Or at least I like to think so. What's even more satisfying is seeing how they organize the whole thing, inviting Dr. Diminutive in it with the sole purpose of disqualifying him from the pageant. As is the case for Auka's Going Down though, because Doof's voice can barely be heard at the beginning and at the end of the song, and because this one is quite short too, Evil Tonight probably doesn't deserve to be higher on this list. However, it stays extremely catchy and mean-spirited, and for that, I love it.
Someone with whom I agree.
Number 6, Brand New Best Friend.
Best friend, and it's me. I found a brand new best friend, and it's me.
When two alternate Doofenshmirtzes meet, they apparently can't help but get along. It's probably because Heinz is just an extremely likable person, especially if you are, you know, himself. Although they didn't share a past and have led very different lives, first and second dimension Doofenshmirtz still hit it off in a matter of seconds. And it's pretty satisfying to see how Heinz ends up finding his very best friend in himself after being rejected by literally the whole world. However, while that's kinda nice, I'm not crazy about one thing. The song seems to portray the beginning of some awesome, wholesome, never-ending friendship, and it truly looks like these two are bonding here, but then 2 minutes later, second dimension Doofenshmirtz is already planning to turn his back on his first dimension counterpart. So this means the whole song was a lie. He lied to him through song, an art form that's supposed to connect people through sincerity of emotion. That is cold. And it kinda ruins the song a little for me. It's just not as wholesome as it seemed. The song is extremely catchy and the chorus is really something, but I've always had a problem with some of the duos the two Doofenshmirtzes reference here. I get John Lennon and Paul McCartney and Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, but some of the characters they portray are from old, ancient movies and sitcoms from literally 80 years ago. They could have gone with slightly more recent characters a younger audience would recognize, not necessarily from the 2000s, but I don't know, Luke and Leia maybe? Mario and Luigi? I guess they didn't have the rights to those characters, or maybe they don't really need the rights for little references. I really have no clue.
Double Doofenshmirtz coming at you Fridays. Now it isn't that I like it at the
Number 5, I really don't hate Christmas.
But should I really just destroy it? I'll admit that I'm still on the fence. It makes me tense.
Here Doof delves into why he despises each and every single holiday, somehow including Arbor Day and Flag Day, and why he does not feel the same way about Christmas. As a kid, I used to listen to this song on repeat during the Christmas season, but now that I've grown up and I'm in my 20s, I still do. It's just the perfect song to get you into the Christmas spirit. And needless to say, the backup dancers always kick things up a notch. They always make Doof songs feel more elaborate and classy. It really goes to show how much effort this guy puts into his musicals. The fact that this one is Christmas themed though doesn't really want to make me rank it higher. It's awesome, but not as much as the next 4 songs.
I have an intense, burning indifference.
Number 4, Happy Evil Love Song.
We got a love strong enough to rule the whole wide world.
Doof goes on a blind date with this woman, whose name was never revealed, and the two of them immediately fall for each other the moment they find out they share weird but heartfelt passion for evil. Love songs might not be your thing, but when evil is involved, the romance is taken to the next level. They're not singing while flying on a magic carpet around the world, appreciating its natural wonders and its amazing monuments. No, they're running around town causing chaos and mayhem. I believe we can all agree that this woman needs to make a comeback on the show and give Doof the happy ending he deserves. These two were a perfect match, and seeing the girl get hit by Doof's Delobinator and break up with him, that was probably the worst and most unsatisfying episode ending they ever came up with.
I have never been so happy in my entire life.
Oh, Heinz. I feel nothing.
But.
Nothing!
It's a really cool machine.
Number 3, Sithinator.
Vader's ever beaten you rats. All those haters from Naboo to Tatooine, they'll say, wow, that Doofenshmirtz is mean.
Doofenshmirtz, along with his fashionable stormtrooper dancers, organizes this number to show off his Sithinator to parry the Rebel Puss. Yeah, that's what he's called. Now, not only am I a huge Star Wars fan, but I also find this crossover episode so perfectly written, so naturally all of its songs have a very special place in my heart. I love how this one especially is packed with Star Wars references and allusions. The songwriters really knew what they were doing. I admit though that this musical isn't too eye-catching or visually memorable. I guess there's not too much happening on screen. The whole song seems a little dull from a visual standpoint. And the fact that everything on the Death Star is black and gray doesn't really help. On an unrelated note, I wonder how many of you guys are hoping for a new Star Wars crossover in the show's revival? Wouldn't you like to see Phineas and Ferb's version of The Empire Strikes Back? Cause I sure would, and I can't be the only one, right? So let me know in the comments and let's all go to Den and Swampy and just, beg them to make it happen. Please, please, I need it. I swear I'll never ask for anything else in my life. I just want this one tiny little episode to exist. Please, pretty please, with a cherry on top. And you know, while you're at it, you could also do episode 6. I'm just saying.
The emperor who used to only greet me with a yawn, he now will say, I'm blown away, much like Alderaan.
Under key and lock.
Number 2, all the convoluted reasons we pretend to be divorced. Fun fact, this song is the one with the longest title in the show.
We told everyone around us we had split.
Yes, we were through, so if they came to haul me off, they wouldn't get her too.
Second Dimension Doofenshmirtz and Charlene explain to Candace and the gang all the convenient reasons why they decided to fake being divorced. So technically, First Dimension Doofenshmirtz does not sing the song, but since his Second Dimension counterpart does, I believe we can include it on this list. Or at least this is my video, I say it counts, so it counts. The song is awesome, but I especially like the line, "We spend so little time together, conversations never forced." Because a situation like this, where the couple doesn't spend that much time together, could really seem like the death of romance, but it's not as bad as it sounds. It means these two only care to share the very best moments of their lives together, and mean to keep their relationship fresh and the romance alive. This feels like the most genuine kind of love. Plus, the song in general provides many practical reasons on why you should pretend being divorced. I'd take notes if I were you.
You had to know we'd come after you.
Of course, and I also knew you would use Heinz to get in the building, bringing my husband back to me and getting you here so I could get the drop on you.
A lot of convoluted reasons there, too.
We've got another song.
No, we're good.
Finally, my number 1 pick is, of course, there's a platypus controlling me.
Don't stop, don't stop. Well, I would if I was able. There's a platypus controlling me. He's underneath the...
Of course it's not. Do you really think I'm that basic? It's actually When Tomorrow Is This Morning Again. The platypus song is nothing wrong with it, it's just not my thing. Plus, Phineas and Ferb songs, in my opinion, kinda lose their magic once they're shared all over the internet every day, non-stop. For example, I used to love the song Busted, but I've heard it everywhere and so many times now that I'm kinda tired of it, no matter how good it is. But still, that's a tangent. Let's proceed with the video.
I'll rework my fate to improve my circumstances.
If I get it wrong
This afternoon, I'll get it right today when tomorrow is this morning again.
After Heinz's Do-Overinator resets the events of the last day of summer, Candace and Doof go into their day for the second time now, full of excitement, ready to accomplish their goals. And this excitement really shows. The song is so catchy and upbeat, it instantly puts me in an optimistic mood just a few seconds in. While Candace points out her surprise and worries about this time loop, Doof simply boasts about the amazing machine he created, and he should do that more often. He should take a little more pride in his creations. However, what truly sets the song apart is its incredibly catchy instrumental, which in my opinion is one of the show's most memorable ones. So yeah, this is pretty much the perfect song performed by the perfect duo. Unfortunately, it's also the only song these two share, but I guess that perhaps it's the rarity of their collaboration that makes it so unique. Finally, Ashley Tisdale's amazing performance not only balances out Doof's non-ideal singing, but it also pretty much takes the song to a whole new level, melodically speaking. In fact, this is not only my favorite song from Doofenshmirtz, but it's also one of my favorites from the entire show.
When tomorrow is this morning again.
So that about wraps it up, and since I know you're still in shock for Platypus Controlling Me not being on my list, you can go ahead and share all your complaints in the comments, and even send me all the live threats you want. Those are always much appreciated. Again, let me know your thoughts on your favorite songs from Dr. D, and I will see you guys next time. Ciao!